Hello everybody, Suman Pachigulla here, and this is especially for recruiters to understand other than skills, what is that very important for you to become a successful recruiter in this industry. So everybody might be talking about if you learn about the time zones, if you learn about the visas, the tax terms, and the what states and so on, that is going to be important. Yes, that plays a major role initially, but that is not something that you will be looking at all the time, because once you understand that stuff and that's gone, right? So what are the things that you need to keep yourself updated with that are going to be a deal breaker? So let's understand few things that I have just broken down it for you. And if you are seeing the screen here, here are few things I wanted to discuss with you about as a recruiter. What are the kind of role that you are playing? Because always when I interact with the people, and as I suggest my students, that don't be a target driven recruiter but be a purpose driven recruiter. Now why you have to be purpose driven recruiter? Because something what you are doing, you are not doing to cheat somebody else. Meaning for myself, if I'm looking at myself, I did not do anything to cheat anybody else unless you have some hidden agenda in your mind. Alright, I'm not speaking for all the recruiters, but I'm talking for the recruiters who are really in the industry to make money by impacting people. If you are one of those that you want to make money by impacting people, then definitely you are going to find the golden nuggets during this video. So what is that we are going to understand here? As a recruiter, you got to play a role of advisor. What do I mean by advisor? It is most of the recruiters, they are primarily the checklist, control F, or they fear interacting with the people. This is something what you got to understand, that you don't have to fear to anybody else because you are not stealing anything and you are not doing anything unethical things. That is the first thing. If you are not doing anything unethical, so there is no reason for you to fear. So another thing what you need to understand, why I say you are an advisor here as a recruiter, what is that you need to understand is always focus on what is the role of an advisor. So here, if you understand it a little bit more detailed, any candidate, if they have to do any changes in their career, they do not discuss much with their friends, neither with their colleagues, nor with their family members, but recruiter are the only entity where they would like to discuss about their future growth, because we are someone who are very close to the market. So now, are you using that particular advantage for yourself? So play an advisor role. So how would you do that? Because if you have a suggestive approach, how would you be able to suggest something? If you hear the candidate properly, then you could be able to suggest something. Now, how you can hear properly? If you ask proper questions. Now, questioning plays a major role in recruiting. It is not about how many years of Java skill do you have, how many years of .NET skill you have, or how many years of business analyst that you have worked with. No, that is not what I'm talking about. It is about why do they think they want to excel, why do they think they are best at something, and why do they think this, and how they prove themselves, and so on and so forth. That is only possible if you ask question to understand. Don't ask question to note things down for your submission. Well, during the conversation, everything can be covered. Now, what I'm saying may annoy a lot of recruiters who are just spend time for a submission. Now, if you are that kind of recruiter, I'm sure you are. What is that going on in your mind? I know that. But this is for the people who want to build a long-term career in this industry, not as a recruiter, as a lead, manager, senior manager, director, and so on. If you want to grow in your career like this, you need to apply the suggestive approach. Suggestive comes in listening, and listening comes in questioning. So ask proper questions. Then you need to understand their need before you suggest a solution. Now, what is that their need? Their need is a job. They are a job seeker. What is that we have? We have an opportunity. So do you have only opportunity? No, you have a client environment, client culture, your company, your process, your money, your way you pay, your benefits. So many things are associated. So here, how you give information plays a major role in what information you are giving. This is what something changed the way how I worked. It is not about the information that you share. How you share the information is very much important. All right. Now, for example, if you pay bi-weekly to a W2 candidate, right? Generally, for a W2 candidate, we do bi-weekly. Now, if you say we pay, if candidate asks, what is your payment term? When do you pay? You would say bi-weekly. Okay, finished, right? Now, if you would say, John, we have a hassle-free payment system. We pay bi-weekly direct deposit where you don't have to worry about whether the money came or not, because my accounting department so good, so they follow up, ensure that you get money on time, and whatever the expenses you have, you can start working on from the week itself. So it takes 2 weeks and you will have money in your account. It's a totally hassle-free and you don't have to worry about it. Now, what is that? I have given more explanation about it. It's more of a emotion-based. If you don't expect a yes-no answer, don't give yes-no answer as well. Give reason. Got it, people? And when you understood their need properly, then only you could able to give a solution. Now, for example, you understood a candidate, you asked questions, and a person, let's say a business analyst wants to be a project manager, but your position, it cannot help the person to go to a project manager role. At that point of time, you may have to suggest that this position may not help you to get to your next level of career growth, John. So I would suggest you may not apply. Now, listen from the candidate point of view what the person says, all right? So it is means you are really playing the advisor role, thinking the client candidate's interest ahead of your personal interest. Match the outcome, meaning after you decide everything, what is that really going in your mind? Do you really think that it could be a helpful role for the person? And then focus on that, all right? So this is something I have mentioned about recruiter gets ignored, why recruiter gets ignored, and how we can be a productive recruiter. So before that, let's focus on how you can build your confidence. Confidence comes from knowing your stuff, meaning you are so clear about what is that you are offering, who is your client, what industry they are, what is the requirement is all about, what kind of environment that is, and what exactly happens when you send a resume. That is what I'm talking about. Know your stuff. The more you know about your stuff, the more confident you will be. You have to know what you are saying, meaning whenever you are giving an information, is that more of the listening based or it's really a gut feeling based information that you're giving? It means a client may give interview in 2 weeks, or are you sure that my client gives interview in 2 weeks? You see? Two different way of giving information. So focus on confident answers and reasons when you share your information with the candidate. If you go with no hidden agenda, you will be more confident. You know things may not work, but still you insist people just because for your submission. That's what it is. Or there is something else, some hidden agenda, I don't know. If you go with hidden agenda, you may not be confident. So make sure things are pretty clear when you are approaching. Okay, and what is that stopping you to be confident? And let's talk about productivity. Your productivity, it has a direct relationship with how you are handling stuff. Now, as I said, initially, every recruiter gets into recruiting by knowing few things, meaning understanding about the client, understanding about the roles, understanding about the US geography, tax term, visas, this, that, and identifying keywords, Boolean search, so on and so forth. And for some extent, they feel satisfied, and that gets to the success as well. But as recruiters grow in their career, after a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, they get into a kind of self-doubt zone where they could not able to excel themselves. Why? Because they lack the way of approach, they lack the pitching and the presentation. If you are not changing your approach, it could be email, texting, messages, anywhere, you are repeating the same thing what you have learned in the beginning. So you are just a fresher which is repeating the same thing. How you are presenting yourself, how you are pitching, closing, and how you are bringing confidence to your voice, that's what is very much important. That's what we learn in highly paid recruiting modules, that how you can pitch yourself, that how you can present yourself with the storytelling. All right, presentation. After you close a candidate, how you are going to present that, how you explain, how you let the client know that why this candidate fits. So once you focus on explaining your stuff, so this is what exactly I liked in the candidate, and this is why this person is matching to the role, that is going to be an added advantage for you. Now finally, you need to understand why recruiters get ignored. Majority of the recruiters, they are self-focused. What is that I am going to get? What is that going to benefit me? And how I am going to get this, that, everything. So if you are in a service role, ensure that you are more people-centric, or the client-focused, or candidate-focused, rather than self-focused. How they can be helped from your end, that should be your first priority. Majority of the recruiter, they don't spend much time adding value to the candidate. Why? The candidate should care about your message and about your client and you. That's what is very much important. And majority of the time, very much of the way of explanation goes in a vague answers. All right, it's like sometimes recruiter give answer just because they have to say something. The information shared very generic, because generally it feels in that way, right? My client gives interviews in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Yes, we have a shortlisting going on, and I'm sure I'm going to get you an interview. Or the information that is something sounds good, it's like a too good to be true. So that makes the people vague, and you want to be a successful recruiter, then you need to have your own presence. You should not be sounding like other recruiter people. So as you are starting in your career, try to differentiate yourself, bring your own way of representation, get connected with your job, get connected with your people, and focus with a helping mode. The more you try to help people, the more you want to give information, the more you are going to get information from the upper line. All right, so this is like all about you, that how you are representing yourself, your client, your company, your job, then your candidate and your candidate's experience. All right, this is what makes a recruiter a successful recruiter. I hope it is useful for you. Do share this video with other recruiters and let them understand it is just learning that basic skills are not useful anymore if you want to sustain in this industry. So you need to come beyond that general information and get into a position of adding more of your approach, learning new skills, and adding a different criteria and strategies to your day-to-day work. All right, thank you so very much. This is Suman Pachigulla on a mission to impact 5 million lives through recruiters. I invite you to join in my mission. Subscribe to this channel and do approach other recruiters and get them subscribed to this channel so that we all together could able to help many candidates. All right. So till then, take care and God bless you people. Bye bye, and I love you.